Seth Mitchell steps into the ring tonight on Showbox against Quinn in the opening bout of our doubleheader. Well, if you follow Big Ten football, you may know Seth Mitchell from his 2 years as a starting linebacker at Michigan State. But knee problems took Mitchell out of the pads and eventually into the ring. He started boxing just 3 years ago and turned pro in 2008 after only 10 amateur fights. He's fought often, albeit against limited opposition. Mitchell's racked up 8 knockouts in his last 9 bouts, and only one of his last 6 fights has gone beyond 3 rounds. 28-year-old Seth Mitchell, a 6'2" right-hander with a devastating left hook, comes into this one with a record of 21-0-1 with 15 KOs. Steve, take us behind the numbers.
Well, Kurt, spoon-fed. How carefully has Mitchell been matched? Well, in 22 bouts, he's faced only one opponent who was coming off consecutive wins, and that happened 17 fights ago. Steady weight. A sign that Mitchell's serious. Since turning pro, he's always been around the 243 pound mark, never straying by more than a pound or 2. That's unusual for a heavyweight. Tonight, 245. And what's the rush? Don't forget that heavyweights mature later than smaller fighters. Mitchell's been as far as 8 rounds only once, and it might be a while before he goes 10.
On the flip side, if you want to try to figure out what type of fighter 27-year-old Quinn is, good luck. In his last 8 fights, he's got 4 wins by KO, lost 2 of them by decision, and been knocked out. Plus, he's got a draw. He's all over the map. These days, he's known as much for his confusing antics during a fight as he is his ability to confound opponents with his skill. Quinn, who boxed as a member of the Nicaraguan army, is a boxer-puncher with quick hands and a good jab, but he's still incredibly raw for a 6-year pro. He comes into this one with a record of 25-1 with 18 knockouts. Try to sort him out for us, Steve.
Well, best buddy. This one's weird. Quinn fought countryman Juan Luis Gonzalez 5 times. 4 first-round KO wins for Quinn, and 1 first-round KO win for Gonzalez. Familiar names. Quinn has no real significant wins, but he has gone deep with world-class Kalimian and former titleist Sergey Lahovich, a positive sign. And road wins. Quinn is 4-1 in fights in the USA. That's not bad for a heavyweight from Nicaragua, a country that produces one big man every century.
All right, it is fight time here on Showtime from Buffalo Bills Casino in Primm, Nevada. Let the showbox begin. Undefeated Seth Mitchell versus Quinn in a heavyweight bout scheduled for 10 rounds. Here now, our ring announcer, Jake Gutierrez.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Buffalo Bills Casino here in Primm, Nevada for Showbox, the new generation. Presented by Golden Boy Promotions in association with Corona Extra, DeWalt Tools, Primm Valley Casino Resorts, and Showtime. All bouts are sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Bill Brady. The executive director is Keith Kaiser. The 3 judges scoring this bout will be Tim Cheatham, Dick Houck, and Dave Moretti. And when the action starts, our referee in charge will be fair but firm, Joe Cortez. This bout is scheduled for 10 rounds in the heavyweight division. Introducing first, he'll be fighting out of the blue corner. He entered the ring wearing the red trunks and he weighed in at 217 pounds. His professional record stands at 20 victories, 5 defeats, and 1 draw, with 18 wins by knockout. Coming to us from Bluefields, Nicaragua, ladies and gentlemen, here is Evans, the Sandman Quinn. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He entered the ring this evening wearing the black trunks, and he weighed in at 245 pounds. As a collegiate football player, he was an All-American linebacker at Michigan State University. And now, as a professional boxer, his record stands at 21 victories, no losses, 1 draw, 15 wins by knockout. From Brandywine, Maryland, ladies and gentlemen, introducing America's top heavyweight prospect, Seth Mayhem Mitchell.
All right, gentlemen, we went to the rules in the dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight. Punches here are good, this is a little high. Give me a good, clean fight. Remember, guys, I'm fair, but I'm firm. Touch him up.
Nobody will accuse these fighters of being dry, that's for sure. We take a look at the numbers. The key number here, 217. Quinn's been fighting in the 220s, and the lighter weight, I think a good sign for a fighter who trained in the USA only 1 week for this bout. And the rules are the unified rules: no standing 8, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. Can't be saved by the bell in any round. And the accidental foul rule, if there's a butt, it stops the fight before end of round 4. No decision after that. We go to the cards.
And this is about, we are looking forward to a pair of tall, fit heavyweights, Mitchell in the black trunks and Quinn wearing the red. Make sure you pay attention to the early rounds, by the way. 17 of Quinn's 18 knockouts have come within the first 2 rounds. Mitchell noted that. Says he's got a plan for it tonight. We will see early on.
And pretty much things starting the way we thought they would with Evans Quinn moving. He's got very quick feet. He's very athletic.
As are both these guys. As they go toe-to-toe early on. Good jab delivered by Quinn.
And Mitchell, so far in his career, has shown a very good jab. If he's going to come forward and apply pressure, always better to do it behind the jab. So far, he's doing it.
Trying to work the body as well. A little bit of difference in their amateur careers, but not a guy with a whole lot of experience as an amateur. As Mitchell has Quinn up against the rope. Quinn's fighting his way off.
Yeah, big punches, hard punches thrown in.
Both guys.
One thing about Mitchell that I noticed from watching tape, he throws combinations, but when he does, his hands are very low. He doesn't bring them back up high. That can be a recipe for disaster.
So Mitchell still learning this game. Only 3 years as a pro after 10 amateur bouts following his college football career. He's not afraid to go toe-to-toe.
He went to Michigan State, right?
Yes.
Does that mean he has a Spartan training regimen?
I don't think so. You look at that body.
Kurt, you laughed. That was very polite.
Both these guys in fantastic shape coming into this evening, as they have been for most of their fights. Good body shot delivered by Mitchell.
That was a nice move there, Mitchell. As he landed, he slipped, and he came back.
Continues to work the body as he ducks the shots for a while by Quinn. Most of those shots just hitting Mitchell in the back. Glancing blows.
Well, if Quinn is smart, he'll adjust. Mitchell's bending over at the waist a lot, especially when he's close. Quinn should be looking for uppercuts.
Oh, good overhand right now. Mitchell working the body, has Quinn in control. Quinn goes down.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
You saw him shake his head. He's done.
No effort whatsoever. None.
A stunning first round knockout by Seth Mitchell. He remains unbeaten, and boy, I think everyone thought this was the toughest opponent he would face. This one didn't even last a round.
Evans Quinn teased us. He boxed really well against Sergey Lanovich, a former world champion, but tonight, it's not me getting hit with the punches. I understand that, so I preface my comments. But that, clearly it looked like he could have gotten up. He chose not to. He made a decision not to get up.
Especially with less than 30 seconds left in the round, in the opening round. Surprising that he did not get up and try to continue, but obviously he decided to be good. That's the big blows delivered by the big man, Seth Mitchell, the former linebacker, and now a pretty darn good boxer, it looks like.
Well, Daddy coming home. I love y'all. Dream team, what's up?
A good win for Mitchell, no doubt. But you know what? Because of the lack of effort from Quinn, he gets a little cheated. He didn't really get to show his stuff. Obviously when he advances further, the few punches he landed are not going to produce a knockout like they did tonight against better opposition.
Well, he has now knocked out 9 of his last 10 opponents, whether it's against good opposition or not. This was supposed to be his toughest opponent yet. And what is impressive about Mitchell is the way he came out and performed. You can say it's a lesser opponent, but he came out and took control, and a lot of fighters, especially at this stage of their career, don't know how to do that just yet.
Well, in terms of the future also, if he's going to fight this way, aggressively, combination punching, come forward, that's not going to work against every opponent, obviously, but that's the kind of fighter that American fight fans want to see from a heavyweight, not a slick boxer.
So Mitchell told us he had a plan for the early going against Evans Quinn. Obviously, he executed it quite well. Gets the first round knockout as we see left to Jake Gutierrez to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Joe Cortez reaches the count of 10 at 2 minutes 38 seconds of the first round. The winner by KO victory, he remains undefeated, Seth Mayhem Mitchell.
Now unbeaten in 23 fights, 22-0-1, and by the way, that one draw was his third professional bout. So he has really turned things around, gets another knockout, and remains unbeaten.
Well, you want to see more, but we have to keep in mind, and his people have to keep in mind, and his promoters, Golden Boy, have to keep in mind that this is a raw prospect. And Evans Quinn, I expected a lot more. I think we all did, because he was a good athletic fighter who gave Sergey Lakovic trouble. You know, we can't take too much away from this fight.
But you also don't want to take any credit away from Mitchell as we replayed this first round. And once again, he came out, told us he had a plan because he expected Quinn to come out aggressively in the first round. Obviously, he executed that plan to perfection, even if you want to say that Quinn could have gotten nothing quick.
Yeah, part of that plan, you can see it right here from the very start. Jab his way in. I don't know if the plan was to bend over the waist as much as he did. You'll see that coming up. But also go to the body consistently, and he did a lot of that. And maybe that's what broke Evans Quinn as well, not just the last party that put him down.
Well, one thing he continues to try and develop is turning his defense into offense. He really didn't get much of an opportunity to do that tonight because he was pressing the pace in the early going. And obviously this wound up being less than a round of action. So, you know, he still has some things that he knows he needs to develop, but still have to be impressed and pleased with where he is at this stage.
Oh, for sure. And the age doesn't bother me at all. He's 28 years old. I think that doesn't mean very much with a heavyweight. But, yeah, he said he has trouble counter-punching, and that's what he's trying to learn. That's his weakness. He didn't really get an opportunity here because Quinn didn't throw that many punches. It was really Mitchell from the beginning.
Aggressive from the start. And really working the body from the start as well. And you can see in the early going, Quinn may have been a guy who's usually pretty aggressive, but you know, he tried in the early going, and then all of a sudden it seems as though he felt the pressure from Mitchell on him.
And the reason you get so disappointed in a fight like this is because from what we saw on tape and just looking at Quinn, he's got a good heavyweight body, he moves well, he has decent hand speed, but how much of a fighter he is, I don't know. Actually, I do know, and I don't like the answer.
And this is where Mitchell really began to turn it on with about a minute left to go in this opening round. Good body shot there, and then works the head. And we see a lot of punches thrown in combination by Mitchell.
Yeah, and he's been better with the left hook as a pro, but the right hand was very effective tonight. And look, there he's bending over at the waist. That's a little bit dangerous because you're taking your eyes off your opponent. You're not going to see an uppercut coming.
There's the big overhand right, and then the body shots, followed by the head blows that drops Evans Quinn. And you can see right there, that's it.
And Evans Quinn went down on his own volition there. You know, that might have been a rabbit punch. But,
I'll be honest with you, at first I thought he went down because he just needed a blow.
Yeah.
I was going to try and take the 10 seconds to get back up, but obviously he decided he could not continue.
yeah, watch the punches. There's a big left hook and a right hand. Right hand by Mitchell misses. Couple of body shots. Now watch Quinn. It's almost as if he's looking on the canvas for the soft spot, and there it is. And that's capitulating right there. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I hate to be so critical of him, because you're right, Kurt. There's a lot of positives to take away for Mitchell, but when you fight this level of opponent and he fights this way, it's hard to take too much positive away for the winner.
I get what you're saying. You don't want to go too far, too crazy, and pumping him up. But also look at the flip side, and you have to be fair to him. He came out and did what he needed to do against the opponent he had tonight.
Right. And because of the way this ended, you have to ask yourself, hey, if Seth Mitchell's going to be the next big American heavyweight, what kind of timetable are we talking about? Well, his people are smart. They say, we're looking at 2 years. How many times have we asked that question in fighter meetings, and the answer is usually 6 months, a year.
Yeah. Our next fight, next two fights, they are very adamant about making sure they take their time. And, you know, even Seth Mitchell said to us, I only started this 3 years ago. If I get a title fight within 5 years of turning pro, I'm happy. So he understands that this is still a work in progress. Tonight was a big step forward for him, a step forward for him, we should say, by coming out and taking care of the business that was required to get the win.
Exactly. It'll be very interesting to watch his career parallel to Tommy Zibikowski, who had a lot of amateur fights, but very few pro fights. The opposite for Mitchell.
But Zibikowski's going to wind up being back on the football field very soon. Trust me on that. All right. Up next, it's our Showbox main event as Sharif Bogare puts his unbeaten mark on the line against an 11-year pro from Freddie Roach's wildcard gym, Ray Beltran. But first, reminder that the Super 6 World Boxing Classic is now down to the semifinals. It begins tomorrow night. Our Steve Farhood, I know you had a chance to catch up with the guys last week.